So yeah, basically I'm in the most horrifying, unfortunate mess only because this idiot Kirk Hammett decided to have sex with my old, ugly mother and ruin my life and destroy me and murder my cats. And it all started with Kirk Hammett having sex with my mother as an invisible being. Kirk Hammett and James Hetfield can hang out around you and do witchcraft, and it's almost like they're there with you. It's very realistic, and there are people that do this type of witchcraft, but they don't do it the way that Kirk and James can do it. And it's like Kirk Hammett, either he projects around me or he's like an invisible being around me. He does it to many people. I'm not the only one. And at first he was really nice to me, but then he decided to start having sex with my mother due to a technicality. This was while they went on tour, and I was supposed to meet Kirk Hammett at his Boston exhibit, and I didn't go to meet him. And I figured I'd meet him another time, and then he started this thing where he started having sex with my old mother, just as a joke, and then he continued doing this constantly, and he's forcing me to post these videos because they have abilities and they can control you and what you do. And this isn't what Kirk's been doing to me. It's like, Kirk Hammett and James Hetfield are murderers. They murdered my cats, or helped murder them with Kirk Hammett's master. This is a very severe situation I'm in. It's really serious. My cats were destroyed in their own home and murdered brutally, and I'm in fear and terror, and I still can't even grieve for them because they won't let me grieve for them. There are a lot of things they can do with their witchcraft, and it's pretty extreme and intense. But they can also have lots of sex with you, and it can be amazing. People that do witchcraft can have sex with you that way, and they can project sex energy at you. But Kirk Hammett was starting to give me the sex energy and start to have sex with me this way. But then my dumb mother jumped in, and I think she was influenced by some negative force to do this. And somehow Kirk Hammett got the hint, and he started jumping on her. And then he just constantly kept jumping on her. And then at first it was a joke, and then he just kept doing it. And then this all started a pattern of wanting to destroy me and ruin my life and torment me and abuse me. And he just kept doing this, and he did it daily. And then, he did it in many different ways. He started putting fantasies in my mind about him having sex with my mother while I was masturbating. So he'd force me to orgasm to images and of him having sex with my mother. And then Kirk Hammett made me believe that he was actually meeting my mother, putting her under mind control, and meeting her in person. And the way he did it, I believed he was. It was creepy because, I'm sure he wasn't, or maybe he was, I don't know. These are fucked up people, and they can do that. They can put you under mind control and make you black out. And I would call my mother, and I was freaking out. I would call her and be like, what are you doing right now? Where are you at? And then sometimes she would be driving out of town, which is really weird. And then at some point she had a bunch of money, and he told me that he gave her a bunch of money. And so, I had a horrifying situation going on with these lowlifes, Kirk Hammett and James Hetfield. When they came back from tour, James Hetfield was kind of like, oh, well, Kirk is horny and you didn't meet Kirk, so he's going to go after your mother now. She was 65, and so then he started this crap with him and my mother. And like I said, Kirk Hammett was my best friend. He hung out around me in this invisible way. And we had a witchcraft relationship going on, but it wasn't sexual. And it could have been sexual. And but then he decided he wasn't going to give me any sex energy, and he was just going to start torturing me and just fucking in my head and abusing me. And so Kirk did this daily, for hours, and and that was in 2017. And that's where all this, basically my entire life got destroyed because this useless piece of shit, Kirk Hammett, decided to have sex with my mother and destroy me. And when Kirk Hammett's master got involved, what he did was he put me and my cats in a torture burning program, and then he put my mother in an orgasm program. And he was giving her millions of orgasms, and the cartoon characters that were involved were all having sex and getting sex energy, and they stole my sex energy, and they were burning and torturing me and my cats. So they turned me into a live torture puppet while they turned my mother into a sex puppet. And these are dead ancient beings doing this, and Kirk Hammett and James Hetfield, who are basically potentially dungeon demons, I don't know, but they're demons that are living inside humans. And so I mean, my whole life got destroyed, and my cat's lives got destroyed, and you know, my cats might be destroyed in the afterlife. Like, I'm in a very scary situation, and like, you know, Kirk Hammett him and James Hetfield now, they just want to abuse me, and they will never be nice to me, or they just won't be nice to me. It's this master person that started this shit. He basically just wanted to destroy me, and I have no idea why. You know, he just has something against me, and it's very, very extreme. And I'm in a very, very bad situation with this. And you know, these are fucked up weirdos doing this to me.
So unfortunately, this is one of the scariest situations to ever exist. My entire life got destroyed simply because Kirk Hammett of Metallica, as an invisible being, began having sex with my 65-year-old mother. And like I said, he pretty much pretended like he was meeting her and having sex with her in person and putting her under mind control. And they can do that. You don't know what these people can do. I mean, they can do a lot of shit. And I think, I mean, there was a chance he might have actually met her because I believed it. And I know my cats were burned and tortured and burned to death simply because Kirk Hammett began having sex with my mother, and you know, this is a very extreme, horrifying situation. I mean, um, it all started when they went on tour in 2017, and I was supposed to go on tour with them, but I didn't meet Kirk Hammett at his exhibit in Boston. So I guess that was my only chance to really meet him. And then sometime during their tour, he started this crap of having sex with my mother, and as an invisible being. And you know, when they hang out around you, it's it's very real. It's like they're really there with you, talking to you, and they hang out as invisible beings, and their witchcraft is very strong, and it's like weird. Like I said, we had a whole relationship going on, like a friendship, and me and Kirk were like best friends this way, and he kind of chased me around in this invisible form, and people might not believe it, but it's real, and that's what Metallica can do. That's what Kirk Hammett and James Hetfield can do. They're high-end Satanists who do the most fucked up witchcraft, and they can do horrible things to people. They can give you cancer. They can give you diseases. They gave their master gave my niece stage 4 liver cancer, and they gave Eddie Money stage 4 esophageal cancer, and they showed it to me. It's their entity friends that did it. It's a long story. But basically, Kirk Hammett was sitting there having sex with my mother, and then it turned into a theme um, of doing this basically. And me and my cats were burned and tortured 24 hours a day because of this. Once they put me in this prison program, then they started burning and torturing me and my cats, and fucking my mother and fucking cartoon characters. And I mean, it sounds crazy, but that's what they were doing. There's nothing I can do. I was just a victim in all of this, and my whole life got destroyed because of this. My cats' lives were destroyed. My cats were potentially sent to hell. They were burned to death, 2 of them, and 3 were led away. They're still burning me. Like, I mean, they still burn me. Like, they were still burning me for months. All year they've been burning me. I didn't think I would survive this. And I wasn't supposed to survive it. And it would have been better if they probably would have just, I don't know, like, I mean, I won't say it in video, but, it's just, what I went through was so horrifying. Like, they put me through nothing but torture and hell, and just mocking me and degrading me and terrorizing me in different ways. But that's fine. They can do it to me. I'm a human. I can take it. But, they involved my cats, and my cats were burned to death and murdered and destroyed because Kirk Hammett began having sex with my mother. And again, I was under mind control, and all I know is that she was getting like orgasms. I mean, these are invisible orgasms, but they're real. And so Kirk Hammett and Kirk Hammett was giving her the sex energy, and Then he just never gave it to me, and he just wanted me to suffer. And now he's forcing me to post videos. So he basically is taking over me and then just forcing me to post these videos. Technically, me and my cat, like, I'm like a sacrifice almost. That's kind of what it is. And before, like, Kirk Hammett and James Hetfield, they really liked me. Like, they were like infatuated with me, and they're infatuated with lots of women. I don't think it's a real infatuation. I think they basically like destroy people. They court people and then they destroy them. And so like this is like it's a really tragic, horrid situation. And now Kirk is doing all types of stupid witchcraft on me. He has his friend talking in my mind saying, Kirk, she can't take anymore, Kirk, and usually like his witchcraft, it's like um different characters, and he used to talk around me. And he showed himself to me a few times as like Kirk Hammett as an invisible being. But now it's just it's not fair what happened to us, and technically they were supposed to go back in time and undo all of this and pretend like it didn't happen. And they're still making it seem like they're gonna do that and they're gonna bring my cats back, and I don't think they will. Um, I'm in a very, very scary situation. Like, all of it is like a nightmare. It's not even a nightmare. This was a serial killing. This was a massacre on me and my cats, basically. And this Kirk Hammett thing, I don't know what is wrong with him. I mean, he's he's not even a murderer. He's a million times worse than a murderer. And I'm just in a horrifying situation with them. And it's just it's really, really scary. I wish I would have never gone to this Metallica concert. This is all because of Kirk Hammett's master. I don't know why he wanted to murder my cats. I don't understand. You know, I'm just, it's just a really, it's just so scary. And then when I try to tell people, they don't really show much sympathy. Either they don't believe it, or they just don't, or they're idiots. And I'm trying to explain that my cats were murdered, and they weren't just murdered, they were destroyed, and people just don't care. They just have no sympathy for the situation. This is like it's a very serious situation, what happened to me and my cats, or to my cats. For me, there's heavy energy in my body, and it's really painful. So it's like they want me to be like a permanent torture puppet. They want to keep torturing me. So when I walk, like, it feels like there's a building in my body, and it feels like there's bricks in my body. And and then Kirk Hammett posted about like a heavy rift, and he was referring to this heavy energy in my body. I don't know what their issue is with destroying me, and so I'm in pain like all the time, and I just have to deal with it. Like, I don't have a choice. I can't get rid of it, and Kirk Hammett and James Hetfield still have not given me the sex energy, and they never will. They're probably gonna, there's like they're probably gonna end this like by destroying me. And I was told when they started hurting me and fucking with me, I was told, okay, even if you meet them, they're gonna continue to hurt you. Like, now that they started, they're gonna keep hurting you. And like in the beginning, they liked me. They were like, they thought I was hot and pretty, and they were like infatuated with me. And now they just want to destroy me, and because it's they've already destroyed me like crazy, and they just will not stop now. And now I'm just kind of stuck in something so fucked up. And I just, I don't understand what Kirk's issue is, like why he's like into my old mother, why he started that shit. His master just continued it. And then when this all started, like, I was in my bedroom, and then the master, you had a cartoon character come in my bedroom, and then there was a woman screaming on a recorder, and it was supposedly my mother orgasming over and over. Um, I don't know if that was really, it sounded like her. I don't know where they got that from. The whole thing was like, oh, my mother was a sex object, and I was like a torture object. And I'm really a sex object. I'm very attractive and hot, and So this master and their friends are extremely twisted beings. Like, they started this crap against me, and now they just won't stop. Like, they want me, they mocked me like millions of times or thousands of breathing through my nose. Like, and the scariest part of all of this is that they're, they claim to like burn and torture my cats harder, my cats that they murdered, and while they were giving sex energy to cartoon characters and my mother harder. So I think my mother got millions of orgasms, and they burned and tortured my cats in the most horrifying way over and over. And I mean, this isn't even sick or evil. Um, I mean, it's beyond sick. It's beyond horrifying. They kept showing images of my cat being destroyed. And this wasn't just a cat. This was my child, and she had like amazing, intense feelings. I mean, she was like a human being. And like, I'm terrified for my cats, and I don't know what to do. Like, basically, I'm kind of doomed and screwed in the situation. Um, I'm in a very bad situation, and if it was just me, whatever. I mean, they can. Not that I want them to do that, but I mean, I can. I'm a human being. It's different. I could just kill myself. Um, but my cats are in a. My cats. I don't know what they did to my cats. And I mean, I am like so terrified, and and it's a really, really bad situation. What's happened? They were also trying to do all this stuff to get a reaction from God, because they figured, God would finally react, because they were doing so much evil to me and my cats. I'm in just a very, very scary situation, and it's not about me. Yeah, I'm in pain, and I didn't feel sexual for months. Like, I was in a lot of pain, and I still am. But whatever, I can handle it. At some point, I was even using a wheelchair because I couldn't walk, and so then they fucked my mother as invisible beings and put her in orgasm programs, and all they did was surround her with sex energy, and as much as possible to where she couldn't walk. And then they pretty much are destroying and torturing me to where I can't walk. And this is, I don't know if they want me to be angry. It's not like I'm going to be angry at them. Like, I can't do anything. And I'm in a very fucked up situation. And, this is what these psychotic celebrities can do. I mean, they are very evil and sick people. And I guess, I think they expect me to, like, do, like, or Kirk Hammett wants me to do videos, but I don't really know anything about how to make a video. And I mean, I don't know if it's like a humiliation ritual, but I don't care about all that. I just care about my cats. I don't care about all this shit. It's just a very scary situation. My whole life got destroyed simply because Kirk Hammett had sex with my mother as an invisible being, and he just never stopped. And then they just took it further, and then his master and friends took it even further, and now I'm just in a very fucked situation. And like, nobody seems to care. Like, nobody cares about how serious this is. Like, people just think, oh, okay, cool, whatever, and I'm like thinking, like, my cats were destroyed, like, and nobody gives a fuck. Like, people are sick and crazy themselves. If somebody told me this story, like, I would be in terror for them. um but people just don't care. I don't know if they're jealous that my cats got destroyed, or if they're just idiots. It's I mean, it's a horror. It's just, I'm in a very scary situation.